Make sure you stick around to the very end of today's session. I'm dropping an exclusive first look preview of the prelude to my upcoming audio memoir entitled Heavy on the R&B. Hear it before anybody else. Tap in. Now let's start the show.
Late night, notebook open, let the truth unfold from my mouth to your ears. This is how it goes. These are my therapy notes. Therapy notes. Dreamy mind, but it's heavy in my chest. Writing down the weight of every quiet kind of stress. Soft voice, but I'm screaming in between the lines, trying to heal the parts of me I always hide behind. Who checks on the strong when the lights all fade? When they hold every storm, but they still feel afraid. I've been holding up the world till my hands turn cold, still feeling kinda hidden in a life so bold. These are my therapy notes, my therapy journey, erasing all the stigma that was laid on me. I know what it's like just to break, just to cope, feeling so invisible, but I know that I'm dope. From my mouth to your ears, every word I wrote. Here are my truest thoughts, here are my therapy notes. If you're stressed, if you're tired, you are not alone. Every page is a step on the way back home. Press play on my heart as the story unfolds from my mouth to your ears. Hear my therapy notes.
Yes. What is going on, everybody? Peace. Welcome back. Man, it feels damn good to be back in front of this microphone. It has been a while. Just 2 weeks, but you know, in today's landscape of things, if you miss 2 weeks, it's kind of like missing 2 months, man. But I'm still on my little, mental health break, trying to keep things in order, man, preparing for a lot of changes going on in my life, and I appreciate y'all rocking with me. But this is episode 2 of Therapy Notes. Hope everybody's well. Like I said, I know I've been MIA for a little bit, but I just wanted to pop in and touch base with y'all, man. I've been taking some much needed time off, stepping back. Dang, I've been off the mic so long I can't even talk. Stepping back to recalibrate, get my mind, my spirit, my mental, everything right as I move into this next season of my life. I want to make sure I'm showing up as the best version of myself and for my wife to be. For those of you that don't know, I am getting married here in about 11 and a half, about 10 and a half, 11 weeks. Damn, shit, it's coming up quick. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese, man. Yeah, so I have that going on, and yeah, man, just wanted to take care of my health and prepare for all of that. Got to be intentional about where my energy goes, so I decided to unplug. Plus, I was working very hard, running myself into the ground, and had a bit of a health scare, mentally and physically. That thank God for my therapist and my primary care doctor, they picked up on. So, man, it's like my mother always said, you can't pour from an empty cup, and God will find a way to sit you down if you do not respond to him in a timely manner. So, but thank God that I'm still here and he's kept me. So yeah, and for those of you that are wondering about the schedule, I go to therapy bi-weekly. So Therapy Tuesdays moves in the exact same rhythm of my therapy sessions. I have them on Mondays, and then I report right back to y'all the day after while it's still fresh in my mind and heavy on my heart. So yeah, that is that. So we're gonna get into just a quick session today, man. One thing that therapy is teaching me is how to recognize my own patterns and respect my limits. So, it's not necessarily about beating myself up or feeling like I failed just because I tapped into a stream this morning. I was feeling a little guilty. It's about self-monitoring. Now, that's my limit. I tapped in, I talked my shit and participated, and I think that's where it's gonna stop for me. I think I've had enough for the week, so I may support, silently in the background. Plus, it was hell reactivating my YouTube page, man, and my socials. You never know how many passwords you got, man. A lot of my passwords are different. Actually, all of them are, and all of them have two-factor authentication, which I encourage you all to do, just to make sure you keep everything safe. So, that was a task within itself. But going back to that, man, I know my behavior patterns. I'm able to pick up on triggers and things like that. So I caught myself early recognizing, like, all right, that's enough, that's enough chatting. Let's get back, to unpacking everything going on and preparing for the big day. So yeah, man, it's about, knowing when to step back and to protect your time and, preserve your focus. So with that being said, therapy yesterday was really good. And the lesson that I took away from yesterday's session was the title of today's therapy notes, belly laughter. So my therapist asked me a question that really sat with me, and I want to lay this on you guys, whoever's listening, from my voice to your ears. I want to lay this on you. When was the last time you had a real deep belly laugh, knee slapping, cackling, LOL out loud type laugh? Because if you look around right now, the world is heavy. The feeds are constantly recycling black trauma, black outrage, and black stress. I mean, you can remove black and you still got trauma, outrage, and stress. And if you ain't careful, you'll carry all of that weight without even realizing it. And that's something that had happened to me. So my therapist gave me homework this week, and the homework was to go out and actively find something that brought me genuine tears in my eye, belly laughter. And for me, y'all know I'm addicted to nostalgia. That was wrapped up in nostalgia. I put on an old 90s show. I remember hearing about it back in the day, back in the 90s. There was a show called The Royal Family. Eddie Murphy is the executive producer, and it stars Redd Foxx, Della Reese, RP to both of them, Jack A, and Lorenz Tate. And it's a great show. So it's like growing up in the early 90s in Atlanta, kind of got that hometown country feel. And then, they're grieving the loss of their grandfather. Redd Foxx actually in real life passed away midway through the first season. They only got one season, and he passed away like right around episode 8 or 9. But other than that sad episode where they actually like funeralize him and stuff, it's hilarious. And it's real life lessons that you can take today and apply them to your life. So, man, I actually sat there and just laughed out loud, man. It reminded me that even in a serious world, joy takes intention. So yeah, man, I encourage y'all to go find something that gives you a belly laugh. The other part of my homework was she gave me a set of affirmations to speak to myself, and I wanted to share these with y'all. I know normally, we'll keep stuff like this to the notes, but it's me. I ain't violating no HIPAA laws. These are my notes, and one of them is I want to release the weight of things I was never meant to carry. Say that again for the slow people in the back. I release the weight of things I was never meant to carry. I recognize my limits, and protecting my peace is non-negotiable. I am allowed to step back, heal, and prepare for the blessings ahead. And I think those are 3 of the key ones that I'll share with y'all. I got about 9 more, but I'm gonna hold on to those. But man, once again, release the weight of things that I was never meant to carry, or you were never meant to carry. Recognize your limits and knowing protecting your peace is non-negotiable. And also, you are allowed to step back, heal, and prepare for the blessings ahead. Because what you don't want to do in this world squander a blessing that was meant for you because you wasn't prepared to accept it. And y'all know I'm a man of faith, man. In that scripture, God said, "Be faithful over a few things." And with that, I think oftentimes we ask for a lot of stuff that we ain't meant to handle. And also, I think when we ask for something and it comes in the shape, form, or fashion that we're not necessarily accustomed to, that's another way that you can squander that blessing. So what I'm saying is, if you ask God for a cake, right, and he gives you a mixing bowl, a spoon, sugar, flour, eggs, butter, all of the things that are the ingredients for a cake, it's still a cake. May not, come in the form that you want it, but faith without works is dead. And you got to apply those things to your real life. So that's it. Like I said, I wasn't gonna be before y'all long. I just wanted to drop those nuggets on y'all. And then lastly, man, speaking of putting my energy into my craft and in myself, man, the Heavy on the R&B podcast will be officially back in motion. Either Sunday or Monday, I'll drop a new episode. I'm locking in now, and you can expect a brand new episode, like I said, coming Sunday or Monday. All of this, the healing, the nostalgia, the boundaries, and getting ready for the next chapter of marriage. And I also got a vlog in the works where y'all be able to put a face to the name, and see the ugly mug, because I got a face that's built for radio. I will tell you that right now.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, but all of this connects back to why R&B has always been my sanctuary. And long before I was standing in this piece and working on myself in corporate America, the R&B music kept me grounded through like just the darkest seasons of my life. And I'm kind of laying out that story on this upcoming memoir, and I'm packing it into the love story from a male's point of view, dealing with the other side of love. Basically, how do you get from divorce, betrayal, and all of that to the steps that I'm walking in now, which is preparing for another marriage. Now divorced now for almost 6 years. So to close out today's episode, I want to do something special. I want to leave you with an exclusive first look at where it all began. So turn the volume up, sit back, kick back, and relax. Here is an exclusive first look at the prelude to the upcoming memoir by yours truly, K-Way, called Heavy on the R&B, the rhythms and the blues of my love story. I'll catch y'all next week. I'm sorry, the week after. Enjoy the prelude. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It was an unusually chilly September night in 1994 as the body of an 11-year-old was loaded into the back of an ambulance.
What's the story, Wishbone?
How you doing? Welcome to the Video Soul Top 20. I'm Donnie Simpson with the 20 hottest videos for you.
A smooth catchphrase for a guy who likes New Jack Swing and 90s soul. But if you really want to understand where I'm going with this audio memoir, you got to understand where I started. You got to understand the blues. Before the love story, before Dago, before I stepped foot on a track or put a suit on for corporate America, I was just an angry kid growing up in the 90s. Born in 87, raised in Western Manor Projects in South Bend, Indiana, which was a major housing project at that time, but we called it What's the Matter because it felt like something was always going down. Our maintenance man, Carl, he was out here stealing food straight out of people's fridges, playing their Super Nintendos and not fixing a damn thing. South Bend back then wasn't quiet. We were just an hour away from Chicago. Hell, that whole corridor, Chicago, GI, better known as Gary, Hammond, South Bend included, East Chicago, all of it. It was heavy in the streets. From GDs, BDs, Black P Stones, Vice Lords, all of it. The climate out there was thick with tension. I remember 1994 like it was yesterday. Watching ABC News with my parents. That's when Tom Brokaw reported on the youth violence in the Yummy Sandiford case in Chicago. Yummy Sandifer was an 11-year-old caught up in the streets and was killed in the alleyway. I watched that whole shit on TV, then looking out my window knowing the exact same shadows were right outside my door. My older brother, 10 years older than me, was a prominent member of the GDs. He was supposed to look out for me, but he ran away a lot and ended up getting sent down south with our family. My uncles, my father, at one point or another, everybody was heavy in the streets living that life. Because of how wild it was outside, my mama had that golden rule. She kept a tight leash. You don't step foot outside this apartment until one of us gets home, period. So I was isolated. At 4 years old, I started kindergarten, something like a whiz kid. But once they found out my age, I was quickly turned back home. And by 6, when it was really on, I was a latchkey kid. Key around my neck, locked inside a small 600 square foot apartment. I turn on Wishbone or Ghost Rider after school, keep that door deadbolt, and just wait. And even inside, you weren't fully safe. I remember walking through the small corridor of our apartment heading to the kitchen to get something to eat, and all of a sudden, boom. A deafening crack echoed through the hallway. A crackhead living in the apartment right above us was playing with a loaded gun and fired a round straight through the floorboards. The bullet hit the towel right where I had been standing 2 seconds prior. If I had paced my walk just a fraction slower, hell, I probably wouldn't be here doing this podcast with you today. I was an angry child because I was living in an angry, dangerous environment. But inside that ghetto chaos, there was one thing that kept us all human. It was R&B music. My dad had 11 brothers and sisters, and my auntie's house was the hangout spot every Friday and every Saturday, especially on payday. On Friday and Saturday nights, the whole family met up there, and they brought their friends, and their friends brought their friends. You had all my cousins too. We were all close in age, separated by 1 or 2 years. Running down to the basement, making up dances, playing Sega Genesis, or arguing over who was better, New Edition or Boyz II Men. Upstairs though, that was adult ground, a room full of libations, some legal, mostly illegal. Crown Royal, Miller High Life, weed smoke, mountains of white powder, card games, and the dominoes clacking on the table. A lot of shit talking going around too. But no matter how wild the block was or what people were going through in those back rooms, the soundtrack that echoed downstairs in the basement was pure magic. I'm talking Cameo, The Whispers, Midnight Star, Lakeside. Keith Sweat's Make It Last Forever had all the D-boys pulling up to the curb with gold Daytons and subwoofers, vibrating the windows, bumping How Deep Is Your Love. Look, I love hip hop. Pac is my favorite rapper. Kendrick is right there. On any given day, they flip-flop. I love music with a message, but let's be real about the hood. I've seen niggas get shot listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony or Lil Jon and the Eastside Boys. I've seen chaos erupt just going to the club when you want to fight somebody. But I ain't never, ever in the history of niggerdom seen a nigga get shot listening to Keith Sweat or New Edition. When that R&B hit, it's like a ceasefire happens. The room softens. The anger drains out. The music brought a family together that was otherwise fighting to survive. R&B became my sanctuary. When I was stuck in that apartment alone, Donnie Simpson on BET and Video Music Box were my company. When I grew up and ran track in high school and college and even professionally, while everybody else was listening to drill or hardcore rap to get aggressive, I had smooth R&B in my headphones and even on the runway just to calm my racing heart down. Hell, I got my first girlfriend in elementary school by spending hours copying 4 pages of sloppy handwritten lyrics straight out of Mariah Carey's Visions of Love CD booklet. R&B runs through my veins. It kept me sane through my childhood isolation. It kept me grounded when my brother left. It held me in 2018 when my mother passed away 10 days before my wedding. And it was the only thing that kept my soul alive when that marriage fell apart. My family structure fractured, and I packed my entire life into my trunk and drove 23 hours down the I-10 to San Diego. I've had some very heavy blues in my life, but thank God, I always had rhythms to pick me back up. This audio memoir isn't just about pain. It's about how the same isolated angry kid from Western Manor survived the gunshots, protected his heart, and found the ultimate love and pace with my future wife, Mrs. K-Way to be. So press play, turn the volume up. We going heavy on the R&B.